Right, we're going to start with rolling our feet. So grab a ball, put it on the floor. Or Pam, you might want to put yours on mute. Yeah, cool, thanks. And just rolling our feet. Really good thing to do. Releases off your feet, enables your feet to move how they're meant to move, really, with flexibility. So yeah, you do the arch of the foot. Put the lights on. Okay. Arch of the foot. Move your toes as you do it. Squeeze your toes. Squeeze them. Spread them out. And then let's go to the other side. Roll of the foot. And then the next move that we're going to do is calf stretching. So grab a rolled up towel or a yoga mat or some weights, just something that will elevate the front of your foot. Or you can grab by a calf stretcher like this, like a foam half roller. Okay, put the ball to the side. Let's grab whatever you've got. If you use a weight like this, that's equally as good. You can put the ball of your foot on it, heel down on the floor. So let's start with the left foot. So put the left foot, the ball of the foot on the calf stretcher, heel on the floor, leg straight. So think about your hip and your knee and your ankle all being in alignment. Spread your toes out. And just see if you can bring your foot forward as if you're walking. Stand up tall. Try not to bend over, forward, and try and transfer your weight onto the front leg. Calf stretch. Really should do this every day because calves don't really get the diversity of movement that they need, especially from our footwear and the surfaces that we walk on. So yeah, that's that. And see if you can put a little bend in the knees on. Take the knee over the toes, towards the toes. Don't let the knee fall in, if you can help that. So make sure your knee's kind of rotating gently outwards, away from you. And maybe come back to a straight leg and just bend foot forward. So push your bottom backwards and bend forward and have a stretch all the way down the back of the leg. Keep your spine in a natural curve so you're not like this. You're actually bringing up your tailbone. And then see if you can, in your head, rotate your thighs outwards. Maybe you could slide from side to side. Breathe. Always remember to breathe. If you've got any problems with your knees, calf stretching is the place to start. Because tight calves prevent your knees from moving in the right way. Let's go to the other side. So right foot on the towel, a rolled up towel or a weight or a stone or something. bring your weight into the centre. Ooh, it's tight. That's it. Spread your toes out. See if you can bring your weight back a bit. So most of the weight is going on the back of the foot. The heel. Spread your toes out. That's really nice. Give it a stretch. Maybe step forward if you can, and step back. Step forward. Step back. Step forward. And then take the knee over the toes. Spread the toes out. Make sure the toes are loose. And then push the knee out over the front of the toes. Make sure your knee tracks kind of outwards and not inwards. You don't want to be looking like that with a knee coming in. You want your knee to go outwards. So rotate your thigh out in your head. Okay, and then a straight leg, and we're going to fold forward. So slide your bottom back, and then use your pelvis as a hinge to fold forward. And maybe have a little slide. And then let's go back to the left foot. We're just going to rotate the thigh outwards and put the foot on the calf stretcher. Just change the angle. You might have to hold onto a chair or something. Just change the angle of your foot so it's going out. Keep your hips going to the front and this leg out to the side. So whichever leg you're on, relax your knee if you can. Just change it up so you've externally rotated one of your legs outwards, and then we're doing the same calf stretch. And then see if you can bend your knee, just diversifying how your foot is reacting to a different angle, and stretching the calf in the same right. And then do the other. So internally rotate your foot, put it on the calf stretcher, and then try and bring your hips forward square. So this leg's going inwards and hips are going forwards. Just change it up a little bit. Press into the joint of the big toe. Do it for the other leg. So externally rotate the thigh. Put the foot on the calf stretcher. That's it, and have a stretch there. Stack everything up. So have a little stretch. Maybe bend your knee slightly if you want to. Bend it over the toes. And then internally rotate the leg. Put it over. See if you can square off your hips so you stretch your hip a bit. Maybe you like to bend forward a bit. Just gently move your hips. One. Go to your knee. Have you gripped up your knee? You might have, you might not. Try and relax it if you have. Okay, now I'm going to do double calf stretch. So we might want to find something to hold on to. So put two balls of the feet on the calf stretcher, and see if you'd like to fold forward. So bring your tailbone up. Keep this arch in the back, this natural S of the spine. Rotate the thighs outwards. Ooh, two straight legs. See if you can relax your kneecaps. You could scrunch them up and then you could relax them. You could slide side to side. So you could go between pouring your hips forward and then tucking them under. So release off the back of it. You could do tuck your hips under, pour them forward, tuck them under, pour them forward, tuck them under, pour them forward. Maybe put a bend in one knee. When you bend it, make sure it's going straight and not falling inwards. And then the other side. Bend one knee. And then the other knee. Ooh, and then come up. Right, next stretch we're going to do is we're going to lie on the floor and we're going to do hamstring stretch. So all our regular stretches, I'm just going to run through before we do some other stuff. So lie on the floor. Should feel like backs of your legs feel good now. So lie on the floor. Put the strap around the ball of the foot. Have two straight legs. And actually, if you've got the chance to put your feet against something like this sofa bed, have a go at that. So butt up to it, two straight legs. And then let's strap up one leg. So keep the heel of the straight leg in contact with the sofa, and then put the strap around the ball of the foot so you can pull the front end of the foot down towards the floor. And then lift your leg up only to the point where it stays straight. And then pull on the strap so that your toes are reaching for the floor and your heel is pushing away from the floor, and your legs straight, and try and relax your knee. And then when you've lifted your leg, you haven't used your back to lift the leg because you're pushing the leg that's on the floor into the wall or the sofa. So you will have used the weight of use the power in your leg to lift up your leg, not the lower back. And then just hold this leg straight now. So if you were to release off the strap, your leg would just flop to the floor. You keep the tension on. Oh, have a nice stretch. Reach your toes for the floor. Heel away from you. Push the heel of the other foot into the wall too. Oh, and just breathe here. Try not to let your knee drop inwards. So keep your hip and your knee and your ankle in a line on the front. That's lovely. And then see if you can take the outside of the foot away from you. And see if you can stretch your toes. So you might not be able to rotate your foot. This flexibility in your feet comes with time and footwear and stretching your feet, but have a go in your head of just taking the outside of the foot away from you. And then the other way, see if you can take the big toe away from you and sort of pull the outside of the foot towards the floor so you can push your big toe away from you. And you could go between the two like this. Really nice for foot flexibility. You could also add in maybe pushing forward, pulling down. And then you take your leg across your body. So keep your hips on the floor and just move the leg within the hip joint. Keeping the leg straight, pushing the other heel into the wall or the bed or wherever you are. Keeping this leg straight. So you might have to bring it down a bit if you can't keep it straight. So have a lovely stretch in this hip, and then come up to the other leg. So switch legs. You might want to just lift up like that. This is when you discover that you've got one leg a lot longer than the other. So push the heel of the leg on the floor. So leg on the floor straight, push the heel into the wall, and then bring up the other leg straight. Flex the toes down to the floor. So reaching these toes down towards me, pushing the heel away. Relax the knee, really relax the knee. And then see if you can pull a bit more. So when you move your leg, it's just the leg that moves, not the pelvis. So find that bit of tension the whole way down the back of the leg. Keep the tension on the strap. So you're pulling on the strap, toes towards you, heel away. And then let's take the leg across the body. Ooh. You might not be able to go far. Oh, we forgot to do that, pushing the foot to the outside. Come back to that. So yeah, gently take that leg across the body. Toes down towards the floor, heel pushed away. Keep coming back to those things because your leg will turn off because it won't like the uncomfortableness. So keep pulling on the strap. Being able to have a straight leg is really important for your knee. So we're just working on being able to straighten our legs. Lots of people can't. You'll notice that lots of people can't straighten their legs. Work on it. So let's take the legs back to the straight and then take the outside of the foot away from you. And then take the big toe away from you. And pull on the outside of the strap. And go between the two. Feel that foot being flexible. Find the bits that are tight. Maybe you need to push away as well and pull down. Just find flexibility. All right. Have a look what else is on them. Right. We're going to roll onto our front now, and we're going to stretch the insides of our legs because not really enough room here. But yeah, just roll onto your front and rest your forehead on your hands, and then slide your knee along the floor and bend it to the side. So try and think about, so my left leg is out to the side. Try and think about pushing the knee into the floor to just stretch the groin. Ooh, find the position where you're having a nice stretch on the inside of the leg here. So all the time driving this hip of the bent leg down towards the floor. Well, just moving it gently down towards the floor. So just stretching out that hip. Remembering to breathe. And then, see if you can bring your leg back down and then see if you can scooch a straight leg out to the side. So the inside of the foot is touching the floor and the knee is externally rotating. So rotating your knee that way. Just find a position where you can have your leg straight. And then gently, millimetre by millimetre, see if you can edge this hip down towards the floor. See if you can relax your knee. Your knee might grip a bit. See if you can relax it. Let's go to the other side. So I'll over a bit. So first one, bend your knee, have it bent in a 90-degree angle, foot flex, and just relax into the floor. Push your knee into the floor, flex the foot. Just stretch that inner leg by your hip. You use your knee to create a bit of tension, so you can push your knee into the floor, and then you could slide your knee gently away from you as well if you can't feel that. If the stretch kind of wears off, take your knee further away. And just breathe. And then let's straighten the leg. So I can't straighten my leg from here. So take my knee towards my other foot on the floor and find where you can have a straight leg. That's nice. Rotate the thigh outwards. Just breathe. Now we're going to put our hands by our chest and just push ourselves up. Try and use your back a bit. So maybe practice this. Lift yourself up with your back, and then lift yourself up with your hands, pushing into your hands, and then lifting yourself up with both your back and your hands. Coming up. Have a little stretch back. We're just going to come to standing. So swing your leg round, find position to come to standing, push up. We're just going to take our feet out to the sides because we've stretched all this. We're just going to work it a bit now. So see if you can drop your bottom down, keep your torso up straight. So try not to lean forward like this. Keep your torso up straight. Spread your toes on the floor. We're just going to move a bit in this position. So rotate your thighs outwards. So like this. So you're opening everything up. Finding a comfortable position where it's not too much work. And then drive your knees back. Try not to let your body come into this position. Try and maybe lean to one side and then lean to the other side. Lean to one side, lean to the other side, lean to one side, lean to the other side. Drop yourself down a bit more if you can. So find a comfortable bit of work. Okay, come on. We're just going to go up and down for a few. So 5, 2, 3. Push into the heels of the feet. Okay, bring your legs together and we're just going to fold forward. So just find a fold. If you've got a chair and you'd like to put your hands on the chair, do that. Just fold forward, or you could let your back arch all the way down. Cross your arms if you like. Bring your weight back. Rotate your thighs outwards. Keep that connection with the joint of the big toe on the floor. Don't let your feet rock outwards. Relax your head. Okay, we're going to do some arm stretches now. So we're going to come back onto the floor. So however you get down onto the floor, come down. And we're going to put our body in a T-stretch. So we're going to lie on the floor, arms out to the side. And we're going to bend one arm and we're going to use that to push the body onto its side. And the other arm behind us is straight. So keeping this hand behind me straight, I'm going to use my other arm to push my weight, myself onto my side. So watch out here. Your body might be in a bit of a banana shape. You want to bring your ribs downwards towards your front fork, your pubic bone. You want them to kind of connect so that your body is straight. And stretch your fingers out behind you. The arm that's straight and your fingers are stretched on the floor. And just having a lovely shoulder stretch. So you may find that you don't need to rock your weight, rock your body onto its side. It may be that the stretch is fine for you just with your arm out to the side. Might find if you sit at a desk all day, then this is enough for you. But some of you might want to rock onto the side to find that stretch. And then come back down and put your arm in a different place. So find a few stretches, stretch out your fingers. Try not to put your body in a banana shape. So arching your back, you don't want to do that. Try to relax your bum and then find another spot for that arm. Stretch out the shoulder joint. Be very mindful. You don't want to hurt yourself. Stretch your fingers out on the floor. For some people that'll be quite hard to do too, so just be conscious of like where are my hands tight? If they are, maybe that's what I need to work on a bit. And let's go to the other side. So other arm out, stretch your fingers out, use your other arm to push yourself onto your side. Remember, don't be in a banana shape. Make sure that you're pulling the bottom front of your ribs down towards your front fork. So you're straightening up the body. You're stretching your fingers on the floor. Just opening up the shoulders and then finding somewhere to put your hand to. So moving your arm into a different place. Spreading your fingers out. Really nice shoulder stretch. Be very careful though. Don't roll all the way over if you know your shoulder is not going to like it very much. Right, let's right now I'm going to do sort of a core stretch that is a core strengthening exercise. Come onto your elbows, spread your fingers on the floor, and what we're going to do is we're just going to lift the ribs. So in your mind, just see if you can relax the pelvis. And we're just going to lift the back of the ribs from the bottom upwards. So practice that, sort of lifting the ribs off the floor and let go. And then lift the ribs off the floor and let go. So you're kind of driving the front of the ribs, the bottom front of the ribs down towards your front fork. And at the same time, you're taking the back of the ribs away from the floor. So do a few more. So lift and then relax and then lift and relax. And this time you're going to lift and then see if you can use that strength then to lift your pelvis off the floor as well. So just relax your bum. You're not squeezing your bum. You're just using that tension between your front fork and the bottom of your ribs to lift your pelvis off the floor. And you're going to rest on your knees. See if you can hold that and then relax it. Don't go too mad. So then do it again. So lift the back of the ribs off the floor. Keep lifting until you peel the front of your body off the floor right down to your knees. You can hold it there. You'll be shaking a bit. See if you can lift your head up off the floor as well. Sort of pull it back down instead of having it sagging. Oh, so driving the bottom of the ribs down towards the front fork and relax. Do 2 more and have a little rest. And then here we go again. So lift the back of the ribs off the floor. Lift, 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 lift. And then peel the rest of the front of the body and the pelvis off the floor. Try to relax your bottom. Hold it there. Hold, see if you can count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I think we'll leave that one there. Right, we're just going to do a bit of a movement now. So put your hands next to your chest. I'm going to use what I briefly talked about, using your back and using your hands together to push you back. So we're going to come back into a child's pose. You can have your toes tucked or flat on the floor. Come back into a child's pose. Have a little stretch there. And I'm going to come back down again. So use the tension that we've just learnt about between the bottom of the ribs and the front fork to hold you still as you come back down. I'm going to do it again. So breathe in, and as you breathe out, lift your back up and push your hands into the floor. Stretch back. Ooh. Really have a nice stretch. You could take both hands over to one side whilst we're here. We're stretching down. If you're taking your hands over to the right, stretching down the left side of your body. And then go to the other side. Reaching down the right to the left and stretching down the right side. And then coming back, so spread your fingers on the floor, coming back down. So just bend your elbows, use that strength. Try not to flop down to the floor. Okay, now going to come onto all fours and we're just going to do some twisting. So push yourself up again. So use your back. Make sure you've got that back connection going on. Back and then hands. And come up onto all fours. Before we do anything on all fours, always try to sort of stretch out the tops of the hands. So, you know, just bring the top of the hand to the floor, stretch the fingers out, and then see if you can bring your elbow pit to the front. Really nice stretch if you use a keyboard a lot. So face the front and do two. You don't have to do two at a time, but bringing your elbow pit round to the front, stretching your fingers out. Really nice stretch. And the other way, the other one just really has an impact. This does on your arms, flexibility of your arms and your shoulders. Right, let's go back to all fours. And all we're going to do is make sure your hands are a bit wider than your hips. Like that. Can you see? Yeah. And then we're going to let go of our tummy. So we've got a nice arch in our back, but at the same time, create a connection between your front fork and the bottom of your ribs. Okay, so you're not all floppy. And then slide your shoulders down towards your waist, away from your ears. 2 straight arms. Come onto one arm and we're just going to reach up. So just going to twist the hip and twist the ribs about the hips and sew our hand through. And then come up and sew your hand through. And come up. So use the strength of this arm. Push into this arm to create the force to lift the arm. Weave and open up. Weave, open up. Find a different place to open up your arm to. Don't always go for the same easy option. Diversify how you're opening up your body. Okay, next one, we're going to just hold the arm here. We're going to weave the arm through and then we're going to drop the shoulder. The same arm that you've weaved through, drop the shoulder to the floor and use the head, the side of the head on the floor. Have a straight arm, bum in the air, and then see if you can lift your other arm above you. You could move it a bit. Or you could just place your fingertips on the floor and use that as a lever to push your shoulder across the back of your body and stack it on the other shoulder. Really nice. If you wanted to, you could internally rotate the elbow and just place the arm around the back if you wanted to. And let's go to the other side. So, right, the other arm on the floor, elbow pit to the front, a straight arm. We're just going to weave, gently weave, drop the shoulder towards the floor. Keep this arm straight, drop the shoulder, open it out. Drop the shoulder, open it out. Drop shoulder, open it out. Drop the shoulder, open it out. Drop the shoulder, weave your arm through, open it out. Find a different place to take your arm now. So it might be forward, it might be back. Try to keep the arm that you're leaning on straight. It's really easy to bend it, but try not to. So you want to build up some strength in that shoulder. And the only way to do that really is to keep your arm straight. Ooh. Weave, hips stay still. Okay, this one we're going to leave on the floor, weave it through, drop the shoulder to the floor, You can have your palm up or your palm down, whichever feels nicest or gives you the best stretch. And then put your fingertips on the floor and push your shoulder so it stacks on the one on the floor. You can do that if you want. Have a lovely stretch, feel your ribs. You're there. See if you can maybe lift up your arm if you wanted to. Stretch your fingers, rotate your arm. Or maybe you'd like to internally rotate the elbow and bend the arm and just have it behind your back. Really nice twist and the shoulder and the arm challenge. We're just going to come down onto the floor. We're just going to stretch out. Actually, we won't do it. Yeah, we can. So we can do a hip flexor stretch. We lie on the floor and then just bend your arm and hold your ankle. Some people will not be able to hold their ankle. In that case, you can grab a strap and then bring the strap over your head and hold it like this. So you're pulling on this strap, flexing your foot, and then pulling on the strap to create some tension down the front of the leg. You've got to really pull on the strap. So here, you want to be thinking about your pelvis, and your front foot needs to be pushing gently, push it into the floor along with both sides of your pelvis. So the hip bones that are on each side of your hips, those two want to push into the floor along with your front foot. And then the knee, you want to kind of drive your knee away from you. So you're really stretching the front of the leg and the hip, the front of the hip. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to hold your ankle. But if it's really hard and you're having to bend your body round to grab the ankle, then that is not advisable. All right, so you want to find the way that suits you. And if you are really able to do this, you might want to also take your knee out to the side. So try stretching it in a different way, slightly different way. So the first way is to have your knees side by side, and then you could take one knee out to the side, flex your foot, have a nice stretch. Whatever you need to do, you can feel how to stretch that hip flexor. And we stretch the hip flexor because day to day, how we move, drive, sit lots, there becomes a lot of tension at the front of your hip. And just stretching can really ease that tension. And of course, we're going to swap legs now. If you've got tension down the front of the hip, then it can cause backache. So if you're experiencing lower backache, then maybe the thing to do is this stretch, once a day. So pulling on the strap, flexing the foot, putting your front foot and your hips into the floor. Pull on the strap, pushing the 3 points of the pelvis into the floor, pulling on the strap or holding the ankle. Driving the knee away from you. Breathe. Okay. And then I'm going to just hold the ankle now and see if you can take the knee out to the side. So when you first do this, it might be really hard to do. With time, it becomes a bit easier and the backache will go. Okay, we are going to finish with some stuff on the floor. So you're going to roll onto our back. Really nice stretches to do now. So roll onto your back. Bring your knees in, arms out to the side. Flex your feet. Try not to push the lower back into the floor too much. So find the back of the pelvis. You can roll across it. And then take your knees one way. Arms straight. Or you can put your palms down or up. And then come to the other side. Roll across the back of the pelvis. So keeping your knees bent. Relax your shoulders down. And then roll from side to side. Rolling across your body. So find a position where you can bring your knees in maybe. And then take your knees away from you. Okay. Drop your feet down onto the floor. And we're just going to do a couple of hamstring strengthening exercises. So put your feet on the floor and then bring them as close as you can get them to your bum. And then all we're going to do is relax the bum. Don't use the bum. Push into the feet to come up. So all you need to think about is pushing into the feet. Up and down. We're just going to do, say, 10. Push into the feet. Make sure the toes are loose and you're pushing into the ball of the feet. And make sure that big toe joint is on. Push into the feet. Push into the feet. Try not to squeeze the booty. Just focus your attention on the feet, pushing down into the floor. Try not to squeeze the bum. Right. How many have you done? Don't know now, I've forgotten. 2 more. 1. So you might want to hold it up here. Relax your bum, push into your feet. Palms upwards. And then come down slowly. Take one leg and cross it over and put the ankle against the, just back from the knee a bit on the thigh. And see if you can bring your leg in towards you. You can hold the front of the leg if you want with your hands. Try and lift the lower back up off the floor. So think about your front fork, push it forward. So you've got a nice arch in your lower back. Rotate the ankle maybe. And if you wanted to, you could put your arms out to the side and take the foot to the floor. So if you've got your right leg on top, take it over to the left, very gently. If it's too far, maybe put a pillow on the floor or a yoga block or something so you don't twist over so far. Just watch your back. And then let's go to the other side. So drop the leg, put the other leg on the front of the knee, flex the foot, and then lift the leg off the floor. Hold the front of the leg if you want and pull it in towards you. But at the same time, if you're going to pull, push your front fork away from you. Peel the lower back up off the floor. Hold it there, have a lovely stretch in your hip. Maybe push your knee out away from you and your head. And then, if you wanted to, you could put your arms out to the side. If this is too much for you, just stay in the first position. Have a lovely stretch on the outside of this hip. Try and keep your shoulders on the floor if you can. Try not to have your chin reaching up behind you. Tuck it down, stretch the neck as well at the same time. Back to the center. And we're just going to pull one knee in with a flex foot and push the other leg straight away from us. So again, pull the knee in towards you, but push your front fork away from you so that the lower back peels up off the floor. Spread the toes if you want. And let's go to the other side. So other knee in. Foot straight. Nice stretch. And then pull both legs in. You can either hook your arms under the backs of your legs. So let your lower back push into the floor now. We're going to make our spine straight and long along the floor. And then you can either do that, pulling in your knees towards you, or you could reach for the insides of your feet, flat feet, and then pull your knees away from each other. Try now, you might find that your chin is leaning back. See if you can pull your chin down towards your chest so you could straighten out the spine. You definitely want to be like this rather than like this. So like this means taking your chin up behind you. You want it tucked in front of you. If you wanted to, you could let go of one leg and pull the other leg in, and then let go of the other leg. Nice, and just roll around to finish on your back. So pulling your knees in. Massage your lower back. Really nice. Okay, I'm going to switch you up.